Hello, beautifuls. Today we're going to talk about food combining. I got this question yesterday that somebody was talking about how they're starting to experience bloating after first coming over to this plant-based lifestyle. And so I want to run through some of the do's and don'ts. A lot of times your bloating is just because your body is not used to eating those certain types of fruits and vegetables, and so your bacteria are high for the meat eating portion and then low for the plant. And when you switch that, the bacteria basically have to die off for the meat and grow for the veggies. And so you'll experience a lot of gas from that die off. And as your body starts switching over and growing new bacteria and stuff like that. My dog is sniffing my leg for no reason. And so, that will automatically create some sort of gas. But there are other things that can create gas, and you don't want to build that up on top of your already detoxing body. So let me kind of give you a rundown. I have my notebook here. This is like my favorite notebook ever. And I love it. It's like a leather bound type of thing, but I don't think it's real leather because it was cheap. But it has your days, it's kind of weird, across here your months, and you can circle the day of what day that you're making your journal or whatever. So I use this kind of as a notes journal. It's like my hodgepodge journal. Let's put it that way. So let me run down. I spent one day because I had this issue, and I just spent a day researching YouTube and finding all these food combining. So I want to put it in a video so you don't have to look, and then maybe it'll help you. So this was for raw food, but it's going to work no matter what food you use, even if you're cooking it. So these were the notes that I wrote. So there are 6 categories. There's sweet fruit, there's a subacid, an acid, a fats, a veg and greens, and a melons group, okay? So the sweet fruit is your bananas, persimmons, raisins, grapes, dates, dry fruits, cherries. Those digest in 30 to 45 minutes. Your subacid group is your mangoes, papayas, apricot, apples, figs, sour cherries, berries, and pears. Those digest in 1 to 1.5 hours. Then you have your acid group, which is 1.5 to 2 hours, and that is all your citric stuff, oranges, lemons, limes, also strawberries, pomegranate, sour apples, crab apples, cranberries, pineapples, and grapefruit. Then you have a fats group, which is 3 to 4 hours, and that would be avocados, oils, nuts, seeds, and coconut. Then you have your veg and greens, which are 2 to 3 hours, and that's basically all vegetables and all greens. And then you have a melons group. The melon group digests the fastest out of all the groups, and so you want to eat those by themselves. So if you have any kind of watermelon, cantaloupe, what are those, honeydew, watermelon, you want to eat those single. Don't eat them with anything else or close to anything else. A lot of people will eat those for breakfast and then never throughout the day because it's not enough, I don't know. So the combining, you can see by these hours and minutes, your sweet fruit is going to digest the fastest. So when you're layering a meal, you want to eat fruit first. And I know that most people have fruit for dessert, but you want to eat that first because what happens is here's your stomach and you're piling in your fruit, and then you'll pile in the next group, which will take, maybe 1.5 hours to 2 hours to digest. And then you want to do your fats last that are 3 to 4 hours, because if you eat these up here, they're going to ferment while all of this is trying to digest in your stomach. So you don't want the fermentation. That produces gas. So the way that you combine these foods is like ours together, I guess. So sweet fruit can go with your subacid because it's about 45 minutes to 1.5 hours. That's a good window. Your acid groups you can put with your fats. They're almost 2 hours is the max time, and then you have 3 hours for your short-term fats. Veggies and greens are 2 to 3 hours. You can eat them with pretty much any group, especially greens, but you have to be careful. Greens and fats are good together. The fat actually helps you absorb the greens, but don't use oil as your fat, because oil goes straight into your body as fat. It stores it automatically. It doesn't know what to do with it. It's pure oil. It's already broke down. Boom, fat. So on your lips, on your hips for the fat. If you're eating like nuts and seeds, you want to eat those with your greens because it'll help you absorb the iron and other nutrients inside. And same with your lime. If you spread that on, the acid will help you absorb your iron. So yeah, it's sweet fruit with sweet fruits, sweet fruit and subacid, subacid and subacid, acid and acid, acid and fat, fat and fat, fat and veggies, greens and fruits. That's my breakdown. I know that was super fast, but layering these foods. So basically what I do in the morning is, well, I drink my quart of lemon water, and then I have about a pint jar of hibiscus tea. Then in the morning is a fruits and greens. That's all that's there. I might add a fat in if it's the flax meal, but a lot of times I will save that for my dressing to go on my salad, because that way it'll hit the greens, and the greens take longer to digest. So I do fruit smoothie with spinach inside. I used to use romaine, but now I use spinach. I've just been on a spinach kick. That's also when I use my greens powder. And then I don't eat fruit the rest of the day except for a snack around 3 o'clock. So my lunch is always a huge, huge salad. And I will make a dressing with dates. And so, where are dates? Dates are in your sweet fruit, so they digest really quick. So dates and lemon juice or lime juice and garlic and smoked paprika. I think that's pretty much all that's in there. And then tons of veggies on there. I always put tomato and cucumber and pepper on there. And then if there's anything else, I'll put my sprouts on there, anything. And it is a huge, huge bowl. If you haven't seen my video on when and what and how I eat, like, watch that one. I will show you the bowl. And then I have a fruit snack for snack time. So I eat at 11:30 at lunch because I have to for my job, and I'm done by 12. So I don't eat until 3. And so then that allows me, my stomach is totally empty. It's been 2-3 hours. And so then I can eat fruit again, and it won't sit and ferment. So the fruit that I usually bring with me are, because I'm on the go, is apples, bananas. Sometimes I will take off those rambutan skins and kind of leave all those in a container. Oranges sometimes, although those are kind of messy. That's pretty much all I bring. It's usually apples or bananas, mostly bananas. I try to eat about 5 bananas a day. So that's kind of my snack. And then for dinner time is when I go heavy. My body really wants fats at dinner time. So my dressing is usually fat-free unless I put in the flax meal. But the flax meal doesn't give me enough fat for the day to reach my 10%. And I try to eat an 80% carb, 10% protein, and 10% fat. And that's what most plant-based people eat. So when I was logging my food on Chronometer, I was doing that and trying to keep my fats. So if I put in flax meal, usually by the end of the day, it's only like 3 to 5%. And so I can eat another 5% on top. So a lot of times what I will eat, it'll be fattier. So I'll put my Brazil nut in there for my selenium. If I haven't used my flax meal, I'll use my flax meal then. I might throw a little bit of sunflower seeds in something to make like a dressing or something like that. I don't really eat avocado. I don't really eat tahini. I just don't like it. So sunflower seeds sometimes to make a dressing. My body can't really do nuts and seeds. So cashew cream is usually out too. I don't find it hard to get my fats. Potatoes, I eat potatoes, and those will have some fat in them. I don't put butter or oil or anything like that in them. I'll make a chili or I'll use salsa. It's amazing how much fat is actually in food if you look at through Chronometer. People are eating way too much fat. In fact, my body will not go above 30% fat. If it does, my pancreas, my gallbladder starts hurting. So I just keep it low, 10%, 15 probably max. Cocoa powder is a really good one because it's about half fat. So if I'm just craving something fatty at night, what I'll do is I'll make nice cream, and I will use 2 or 3 bananas with a tablespoon of cocoa powder, and it makes chocolate ice cream, and I get my fat in that way, and that kind of satiates me and makes me feel like I've had a good meal. Yeah, that's pretty much how I eat. So just make sure that if you're having digestive issues, you look at the food and in which way you're eating it. Make sure you're eating your fruits first if you're eating it. Like if you eat a salad, sometimes I'll put fruit in the salad. That's okay, but just know you're probably going to have bloat. Also watch your cruciferous vegetables because those tend to be gassy anyway. And same with your legume family, your beans, lentils, all that kind of stuff. So just kind of watch that, maybe cut it back a little bit, especially Dr. Furman recommends beans every single day. So cut it back a little bit and see if that helps. But I'm hoping that, letting you know the order of these digestions, and I'll go over that in just a second again, and how long they take will help you kind of plan your meals a little bit better. So the shortest time is the melons. Melons you want to eat by themselves. Sweet fruits, again, bananas, persimmons, raisins, grapes, dates, dry fruits, cherries. They take 30 to 45 minutes to digest. Mango, papaya, apricot, apples, figs, sour cherries, berries, and pears take 1 to 1.5 hours. Citric fruit, along with cranberries and pineapples, and pomegranate, that's all pretty much citrus, is your 1.5 to 2 hours. Then any kind of nuts, seeds, coconut, avocado, the really fatty, oily stuff, is 3 to 4 hours. That's actually like the longest group. And if you eat meat, it actually takes like 6 to 8 hours to digest. So if you still are eating meat and you're trying to cut it out, just know that like that takes the absolute longest to digest because it's just so tough for our bodies. It's not made for our bodies. Our digestion is too long for the meat, so you're going to actually get gas and bloating, and and it doesn't smell good when it comes out because it's basically rotting as it's trying to get through. Your vegetables and your greens are 2 to 3 hours, and hopefully that's helpful. I spent a lot of time looking through. I know not all of the fruits and veg were mentioned on here, especially fruits, but you might have to just trial and error on that stuff and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, but definitely melons alone. I'm telling you, just trust me on this. And it's okay to eat a whole entire watermelon for breakfast, and that be it. It's fine. You're going to be hungry in a couple hours, and that's fine. Your body will tell you when to eat, and society is set up not to help that. So if you have issues with bringing stuff to work or anything like that, find a way to hide it. Maybe you can, snack on grapes sitting at your desk instead of candy, or, cut up some apple wedges and just pop open a container. Hide your smoothie in an unclear bottle and then fill it up with water when you're done with your smoothie. So they see you drinking. A lot of nurses will do this. If they see you drinking, you're allowed water, but you're not allowed food. They don't know that there's a smoothie in there. You could pack 3 smoothies in 3 different cups and still get 500 to 700 calories in each one of these smoothies, and you've got most of your food for the day. And then just fill it up with water in between and drink that. There's little tips and tricks, and it's okay to be hungry in a couple hours. I don't understand. We were foragers, and so we would walk around and we would find fruits and berries or whatever like that, hanging, and then we would be walking where there was nothing, and after a couple hours we might stumble across something else. So it's just the way our body is. Don't freak out. Don't freak out because you have to go to the bathroom more. I'm sorry, but what do you do with people who have bladder issues? There has to be a way. Get a doctor's note and say, you know what? I'm going to the bathroom a lot because I'm drinking a lot of water, but my employer won't do it. There's no reason, there's no good excuse for not being able to follow this way of eating and drinking, and your body gets used to it. I drink most of my water in the morning, and then my body is almost waterlogged so that it lasts and then until I get home. So just do the best you can, and your body will adjust, and so will your employer. So thanks you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was helpful, like and please subscribe. Hit the little bell notification at the bottom. You can follow me on Facebook and on here, Fit Farming Mama, and you can follow me on Instagram at Fit Farming Mom. Thanks so much for watching, and have a blessed day.